tremendously honored to have this opportunity to be here and to work with such distinguished colleagues on such an underappreciated, indeed underreported and underrecognized phenomenon. I want to do, first of all, something by way of reminder. I want us to just recall how powerful popular culture, softcore pornography, and erotica truly are. Ross O'Hara, for example, a distinguished social scientist at the University of Missouri, has indicated that the sexualization of our media through television and through movies has had, in his words, a fundamental impact on the psychology of teenagers and young adults. Norman Deutsch, a distinguished medical doctor and social scientist as well, has indicated how ubiquitous the softcore and erotic portrayals of sexuality are in our culture, how ubiquitous and therefore insidious this has become. And in his remarks, he says that this makes the impact of softcore pornography all the more powerful. We know that the widespread sexual objectification, indeed commodification, of the female body has demonstrated negative impacts upon the psychological health of many women. We know it has an impact on self-esteem. We know it has an impact on increases in rates of depression. We know it has an impact on body image issues, including anorexia. We also know that it exposes women to a greater risk of victimization because of the established connections that exist between the consumption of erotic material and an increased prevalence on the part of men of coercive behavior, verbal, psychological, or even physical. However, we are faced with a new cultural norm in the United States, which is the mass marketing of the sexual commodification of men, in addition to that of women. We see this in movies and in television. We see this across the advertising sectors. We see this in our popular culture, in the social mainstreaming, indeed celebration of things like bachelorette parties. We see it in the fact that, according to data from the adult entertainment industry, i.e. strip clubs, about 40% of all strip clubs will have male performers. And we also know that the so-called For Ladies Only organizations, LeBaire, Chippendales, etc., are thriving across the country. In fact, a major article to that effect just recently was found in the New York Times in June, talking about how prevalent this is across the country. In addition, we know that online porn use on behalf or on the part of women is skyrocketing. In fact, Professor Rigneris from the University of Texas has indicated that for women under the age of 25, once a week porn use online represents about 20% of women in that group. Once a month use, about 30%. And once a day usage is at about 10%, which is only slightly below the rates for men. So we've achieved, as it were, a rough parity in online porn usage between the sexes. What has not been adequately addressed has been the impact of this on the psychological well-being of men. We have issues with respect to body image. We have poll data which indicates that men are increasingly saying that their physical appearance is more important to them than their family, than their jobs, than their friends. Harrison Pope of the Harvard Medical School has indicated widespread use of steroids, a steroid culture emerging, and also the issue that I refer to as counter-objectification and a downward spiral. Social scientist Sarah Morin has indicated that female porn usage increases male sexual animosity. Scholar Eileen Zerbriggen has noted that male sexual animosity leads clearly to increased male porn usage, leading to a downward spiral because the National Center on Sexual Exploitation has done such good work in indicating how detrimental widespread and deep porn usage is for men. So what I would counsel for us going forward is to make sure that we have in our attention to this issue empathy. Empathy for the position of boys in our society. We need to conceptualize male pornography usage along the lines of victimization because it is being shoved down their throats. It's being suborned. Our society is saturated with it. It's so hard to not be impacted by it. I think we also need to be careful about the usage of terms like toxic masculinity. The fear that I have with that is that it will churn off young men. We need to speak instead about healthy sexuality for men and for women. And lastly, we need to always have at the forefront of how we address this issue the idea that we have the best interests of boys and men at heart. We're here not to tear down men. We're here to build everyone up. Thank you.